The first thing the girl asked for was the shoe, so we used to call the guy Mishu.
Kayas. He was wearing kayas.
The first
Shoe here won't
this
go
guy
black.
was unemployed.
Speaking of shoes, you know the shoe they call I swear my God.
Is it the one that has a curve? The top is curved.
It's looking up to God.
Yes.
I swear my God.
His nickname metamorphosed from Mishu to Mishwe.
So I swear my God is that shoe that points upwards.
Upwards, yes.
And then, do you know Sangpana? Do you know Sangpana?
Sangpana.
Yeah. Shoe de pafa. You know shoe de pafa, Sangpana.
If you see a lawyer with
Shoe de pafa. You know the sole of the shoe, right? Is halved. It has been halved.
Due to what?
the way he walks.
To the way he walks. So
And the economy.
The shoe is not balancing. You understand?
They call it what?
Sangpana.
Sangpana.
Shoe here won't
If
go
you are
black.
going to hire a lawyer, look at his shoe first.
Because if the lawyer's shoe is 40, it means that your argument will fall flat. Your argument will fall flat.
That was that police officer during Corona asking people why they are flouting the rules. So your argument are fall flat.
Your argument, are you Gomwais or Gomwa? Your argument are fall flat.
It's poor there. No, that officer there. But when somebody says to you, only your shoe, is it a compliment?
No.
No, is it if I say, oh, only your shoe, is it a compliment?
There are certain shoes you don't wear to certain places. Like you wear what we call Zibo shoe. Your shoe is shiny.
You know what we call guarantee?
Do you know guarantee? Do you know? But do you know Zibo shoe? You don't know Zibo shoe.
Which one is the Sibo shoe?
Nana Champo and Daddy Lumba, they used to wear that. Shiny shoe. We used to polish them with kerosene.
Pardon?
Kerosene for it to shine.
Oh, I see.
You ever seen Zibo shoe before?
I'm not
You know Sibo
familiar.
brothers.
You don't know Zibo brothers.
They were shoemakers who became musicians.
Long before Osibo came.
Let's look at the shoes.
long before Osibo came, there were Sibo shoes. And Sangpana. And I swear my God, shoes.
Oh, these are leaders.
Charlie, but sometimes if you are in opposition, your shoe too. Please check Fred Agbenyo's shoe. If he's in opposition, let's check his shoe. We should check his shoe. Because sometimes when you are
You don't see your
I mean, welcome. Welcome, Fred. Forcing has been unhappy with what the Bank of Ghana governor has been explaining. Listen to him.
The Bank of Ghana has also recorded a negative equity of over 55.1 billion Ghana cedis. This simply means that the Bank of Ghana is currently bankrupt, or in other words, insolvent. In other words, the once prestigious Bank of Ghana, the mother of all banks in Ghana, have been bankrupted and collapsed by the NPP economic management team, led by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, with the complicity of the governor of the central bank and his deputies. Friends from the media, many questions have been asked about how we arrived at this gloomy and sad situation, with some expressing surprise at the state of affairs of the central bank. For us in the NDC, the disaster did not come as a surprise. In fact, we in the NDC minority have always known that the Bank of Ghana was being mismanaged. We have made this point time without number, that the Bank of Ghana is a classic example of how not to manage an economy. The NDC party is on record to have informed Ghanaians on countless occasions that the Bank of Ghana has been on a dangerous trajectory And indeed, it has now become a crime scene with the dire consequences for us all, fellow countrymen and women. After the inept and clueless finance minister overborrowed and got Ghana locked out of the capital market due to our unsustainable debt obligations, the NPP government chose the easy, reckless, lazy, and criminal path of printing money. Unfortunately, this is how the governor of the central bank, Dr. Addison, who is now known as the printer of money, has conspired with members of economic mismanagement team, led by Alhaji Dr. Bawumia and the inept finance minister Ken Ofori-Atta, aka One Program, One Bond, to destroy Ghana's central bank. After this dastardly act of overlending to the government by the central bank, they then proceeded to do the unthinkable. And the unthinkable is to write off a whopping 48.4 billion Ghana cedis, about half of Ghana's government indebtedness, to the central bank without parliamentary approval. This is illegal and criminal. And the NDC members of parliament will not allow this to pass. In fact, we will resist this.
The Bank of Ghana's 2022 financial statement results reflect the crisis that hit the economy in that year. Ghana was not spared the effect of the pandemic. There were clear public policy initiatives by the government. Protecting lives and livelihood at all costs required exceptional financing. Fortunately, through the swift intervention of the international financial institutions, the IMF through the Rapid Credit Facility and the World Bank, a significant portion of this financing was met.
That was the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Addison, there, trying to explain how things had panned out at the Bank of Ghana. In studio with me, Mr. Bernard Mona, former chairman of this PNC, Fred Agbenyo, who is the Deputy International Relations boss at the NDC, is also eyeing keenly the Santofi Akpafu Likpe. Santo Kofi Akpafu Likpe and Lolobi seat. They don't have an MP as we speak. He wants to be. We want to be.
I'm the NDC candidate.
Yes, you're the candidate. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You are eyeing the seat. Yes, because the MPP people will bring a candidate to contest you. And then Kofi Amea, you also with the diaspora office, right? Or you left that position?
I am with the...
it's in New York, chopping dollars.
Permanent mission of our...
Can you draw the microphone closer?
Oh, sorry. I'm with the permanent mission of Ghana to the United Nations.
Right. Okay.
So you're in New York?
Yes. The headquarters of UN is in New York.
Yes.
And you're chopping dollars?
But I'm in New York. I'm supposed to be paid in dollars.
So did you bring some dollars?
No, please. I'm in Ghana. Why should I be in dollars?
You flew in a first class to come and vote for he came down yesterday.
So no propaganda.
He flew first class.
First class, come and vote for Bawumia.
Kofi is modest.
I'm talking about not bought a ticket for him.
See, the sad part is that when you are going to the economy, they should change the arrangement. Okay. First class should go at the back. So that we, the economy people, when we are passing, you don't see the first class people because it hurts. When you are tired and you see how comfortable
people are there, you're walking past them to go and sit.
To clear place.
But they say Alhaji Bawumia bought a first class ticket for you. So what is your problem again? Can we continue?
I bought my own ticket. I can show you my...
Chief Mona.
Let me see your ticket.
Good morning. How are you?
This is a business class ticket.
Well, it is a morning. And the goodness of it is in doubt.
Why?
When you wake up with a bankrupt Bank of Ghana, that is the lender of last resort, or supposed to be the lender of last resort.
That's right.
What it tells you is that the Bank of Ghana is incapable of performing that function to other banks. And so when the bank is in such distress, all other banks, their situation cannot be any different. So I'm just thinking about the coins that we have in our bank and the fate of that money, whether that will not even suffer a scrubbing, because that will not constitute a haircut. As you can see, Kofi Amea said, that is not a haircut, it's scrubbing of the head. And so it's painful to wake up to such crass incompetence, inefficiencies at our public spaces. And yet, such persons who are inefficient are unwilling but to resign their positions, and they are goaded and aided by President Nana Akufo-Addo. It is unthinkable.
I see. Kofi, the NDC minority in parliament is asking for the head of the governor of the Bank of Ghana. Is that call right, or is it misplaced?
Thank you very much, Johnny. I think I haven't been here since you came. And
Right.
I watch you a lot.
Thank
In
you.
fact, I watch TV3 a lot.
Thank you.
Even when I'm away.
Thank you.
Good morning to you. Good morning to your cherished listeners and viewers, and to my very good friends. Bernard, I don't know how you were feeling between the years 2015 and 2015 and 2016 when the same Bank of Ghana. Oh, Fred.
You didn't bring anything from the US, so you are your friends. I got to be fair.
Allow him.
About you are coming to see your friends. You didn't bring anything from the States. Now you say we are your friends.
But he has not finished.
Is he your friend?
He has not finished the
No, I
day
will
yet.
do you some.
He's not finished the day. Allow him, Fred, allow
So I
him.
don't know how Bernard was feeling between 2015 and 2016 when the same Bank of Ghana went, is it solvent? When you don't have money. Oh, they did. And when they supported the banks, they made, monetary to the banks. They went into deficit. You were okay. Bernard, you were okay. But today you are not okay. But that's okay. But let's go to the
But
real
you promised
issue.
to do better. That's the point I always raise.
You see,
That because it was done in the
this
past.
same team that came to you today,
Right.
I mean, you took a very beautiful picture, and I'm going to post it right after. We were on TV3
Right.
a while ago, and I was making a point. In as much as it must sound boring to Ghanaians, because we've been saying it over and over again, it's the reality. We can't do anything about it. The issue of the effect of COVID, the Russian-Ukraine war, and the downgrading of our sovereignty bonds and the ratings. Okay, these are real issues that affected the activities of the Bank of Ghana. That is why we are where we are today. Okay, so yes, the call for, I have said, and I will maintain moving forward, that this country cannot be built on emotions and sentiments.
You think the call is emotive?
Yes, and sentimental, sensational. Because the NDC is behaving as though they've never been in power before. We have the minority leader with the greatest of respect to him, who was a deputy finance minister and a member of the board of Bank of Ghana. And he's fully abreast with the ins and outs of the Bank of Ghana. So for him to call the head of the governor, for me, is a bit unfair.
Why do you say that? Because the books do not look good. That's all they're saying. That the books do not look good.
Exactly.
You have not managed it. How Dr. Addison has managed things is how not to do things. And so he must go.
If I have anything to throw at the governor or the Bank of Ghana, I would say is how sluggish they were as far as their responses were concerned. This press statement that they issued yesterday or they had yesterday should have been had a long time ago. But these facts existed. It's not like they just, came up. They existed. So why didn't you explain earlier? Do you get it? So for me, the explanation the governor, Dr. Addison, gave yesterday is good enough. And I was calling that for the minority to rescind on their decision and to just let go of this picketing, demonstration, and with their
in whose interest?
Their offshoot. In the interest of the fact and the truth. Because at the end of the day, look, let's go into the real issues. He said the governor is a printer of money. He has debunked that, and it's not true. And when they say these things, they don't have even fact.
The Bank of Ghana did not print money.
Look, they have indicated that they never printed money, and that the money that they made available available to the government were there already. So they didn't need to even print any more money.
They were there already. The
that's what he
huge
said.
sums of monies that they gave to government were sitting there at the Bank of Ghana
No,
already.
the huge sum, we are talking about 88% of the 80 billion that they've lost. And that went into the DDEP. And I understand, I don't think we need to go into the DDEP, what it means and everything. But that money went into the DDEP. About 88% of the money they lost.
So you're saying on record that the Bank of Ghana never printed any money?
Look, when you listen to the press conference, and when I was coming today from to TV3, and I was listening to the news, City Business News, they played his tape. No, he said the money existed, so they didn't even have to print any. That 80 billion that they are talking about, and the 88%, which is about 53 billion that came out as a result of the DDEP. It's not really a money that has been doled out.
But you know, Honorable Adongo had raised these issues, raised the concern that Bank of Ghana was printing money illegally.
And it's false.
And that the Bank of Ghana was sinking and going down. The same Bank of Ghana came out to debunk that and said they were not going down. Here we are now. They have literally gone down.
But
the lender of last resort is itself in need of resolution.
But they have also said that they are in a position to do what they are supposed to do. The lender of last resort. They haven't said they are not in a position to lend money to the commercial bank. They haven't said that. No, they haven't said that. No, wait. Have they said that? Has the commercial banks come to say, oh, we wanted money from the Bank of Ghana and we didn't get it?
But at how much?
No, I'm asking a question. It hasn't been answered yet, please, with the greatest of respect. The Bank of Ghana has come to say that. You see, sometimes when we are doing this, it will appear as though I'm speaking for Bank of Ghana.
That's what you're doing.
No. I'm speaking to the facts as they are.
You know, when the issue first broke, the Bank of Ghana was loudly silent. It was elements of your party who took the matter to be explaining to us. And at some point when the message was not messaging, and there's the Usu Bempa is on record to have called on the governor of Bank of Ghana to come and speak because it's beginning to look bad on government.
The actions and inactions of any agency of the government, whether they are independent or not independent, affect even when the EC takes a decision, it affects the government at the end of the day. So we had a responsibility to provide some form of explanation until, that's why I said earlier, if you remember, that
they should have spoken earlier.
For me, based on the fact, not based on the fact that I am an MPP person, I'm a member of the government, for that matter, I need to defend it, whether it's right or wrong. I'm defending what is being said, and I believe is the truth.
So do you insist that the Bank of Ghana is in a good place? Because if...
No, the Bank of Ghana currently, and Ghana as a matter of fact, is not in a good place.
So then how do they then support the local banks? Because that's another point you made.
The fact that they are not in a good place does not mean they cannot. And they have stated it clearly, that they still can do their job. The mandate for which they have been established, they can still continue to do it.
If in the past the Bank of Ghana sold a bowl of gobe to us at 5 cedis, and now they say we can still supply you gobe, but it will be 20 cedis. It's not the same thing, is it?
So, look, they are responsible for our monetary policies.
Right.
I mean, the money circulation in the system. Okay, as we speak now, do we have any challenge as far as monetary circulation is concerned? Yes, we have hyperinflation, stagflation, and all that. But at the end of the day, when the PDCs go to Bank of Ghana to look for forex, to buy the oil, the crude, and everything, they are able to get it, and they do this every month. Okay, when the business
Bank of
community
Ghana is now auctioning dollars. Are you aware?
I'm aware.
The dollars are not available as it used to be. They are now auctioning the dollars and rationing dollars.
Johnny, I don't sit here and pretend as though I don't sit here and I wouldn't sit here to pretend as though everything is okay. In fact, even in the press statement, they made admission to the extent that within 2 months, they lost their buffer $500 million because money was not coming from anywhere. Can you just stop this? You see,
okay. Go, wrap up so I can.
I'm wrapping up by
saying
this.
Two colleagues in. Yep.
When I was learning how to really communicate in the US, okay, effectively, I was taking lectures from Dr. Baumia as far as his lectures were concerned, and reading his and the way he communicates to form and shape. But one of the people I love to listen to at that time from the NDC was Fred Agbeni. When you go to Asampe FM with Kaba, when friends start talking, you start mentioning the things that the NDC has done. Professor Mills, you remember those days? What has happened to you?
He was a communications officer.
What has happened? You've changed, now the propaganda, when you sit on TV.
Speaking of Dr. Baumia, why has he spoken about the Bank of Ghana situation?
What has that
I mean,
got to
yeah.
do with
Why is it Dr. Bawumia
But we have
speaking
the
about
governor.
the Bank of Ghana? Was the deputy governor?
But we have the governor there.
President Akufo-Addo said he's bringing
There's a
him
governor,
in from
there's
the
a-
Bank of
there are
Ghana.
two deputies. There's a finance minister. There are 2 or 3 deputies.
You don't think that his experience matters
Has he come
now?
to? No, it matters. He has an opportunity to meet with them. He's the head of the economic management team, so he gets to meet with them.
So
if he doesn't speak, it doesn't mean he's not speaking, or his experience is not brought to bear.
I don't understand. If he doesn't speak, it doesn't mean he's not speaking. I don't understand you.
Yeah, if he's not speaking publicly, it doesn't mean he's not speaking anywhere.
I see.
That's the point I'm making.
Okay, Fred, you are calling for the head of the governor of the Bank of Ghana.
You
Kofi insists that, look, this call is misplaced. Allow the man to work. But why are you insisting on doing that? Everybody's telling you, relax.
My regards to your cherished listeners. I am very, very certain that Kofi doesn't believe in what he's saying on air.
Believe in what? I believe in everything that I've just said.
Kofi, that I've known all these years, I know he's not happy what is going on. But you see, when you work under President Akufo-Addo, you become like a zombie.
Charlie, why are you people insulting us like that?
We are not.
Last time
You
you
see, I say
called
like.
Miracle.
Can I continue? Can I
This is
continue? I
hyperbole.
said become like a zombie.
Oh, don't do that.
I didn't say you are a zombie. I said become like
Is
a
this
zombie.
stop it,
Can I
stop it.
continue?
Why are
Okay,
you people
he's not
insulting
happy.
us?
He's not happy with it.
But a zombie, who is a zombie? A zombie is not a bad. You have been the bad. You know who a zombie is. Is it a bad thing? You should be a privilege.
He said he doesn't- he said he doesn't like it.
We haven't done anything wrong. Okay, our job and our
I'm only
responsibility-
saying that. Kofi has been whipped in line. He and his colleagues go and say
That's
this.
not true.
So whether you believe in it or not, whether it makes sense to you or not, you must say it. You see, Addison is not running his private bank. Addison is not managing his family property. Addison is managing the Bank of the Republic of Ghana. And I, Fred Agbenyo, am a shareholder of that bank. You, Kofi Amir, you are a shareholder of that bank. All of us. So he cannot determine how he manages our assets. We have a responsibility to call him out.
That's why they are lost.
When we have a cause to believe that it's infringing on the laws.
Which law?
When the law says that you cannot print money for government more than 5% of the previous, can you allow me?
Allow him to make his point, please.
You see, you think that all of us are yo-yo.
That he has-
All of us are yo-yo. But inflation was somewhere around
So that
20-something%.
he has printed money.
Please.
Go ahead, Fred. Make your
Inflation
point.
was around
His mic is off.
20-something%. Suddenly, the inflation was about 54%. What happened to it? You printed more money, so more money were chasing fewer goods.
But the Bank of Ghana
Hyperinflation.
governor says they have not done any of such.
Do you trust him?
Oh, well, that's what he's
Since
saying.
Adongo started raising the alarm bells, well, after, take care of what you are doing, Ghana will run into problem. They said no, nothing was going on. Everything was all right. They were not printing money. Adongo and Honorable Atufos, they started raising this concern long before now. The Bank of Ghana, no, you are treading on a dangerous ground. Be careful. They said everything is all right. For the first time in our history, you have declared a loss, 60
This is
billion.
not the first time. Stop it.
I'm talking about the quantum of money. It has never happened ever. 60 billion.
So if it's
Can you allow me to name as a missing young man from America? What money did you do in there? Can you bring in it? You know you're talking, not talk. You are not in this country with
How is
us.
that relevant
You don't
to
know what
this
you are going through.
argument?
He doesn't know what you are going through. The man is enjoying cooling off. We are going through a lot of difficulties. So allow that to
You want the governor gone so that who will
See,
replace him?
when the governor leaves today, you see, it will inspire some confidence.
But you're not only asking for the head of the governor, the deputies, and
All
then
of
the
them,
board.
because they are monumental failure. They've taken all of us for granted. Look at where we are now. How on earth can any human being really reasoning well who say that in 2019 you took a decision that you want to build a new headquarters? Reason that where you are currently operating from is an earthquake zone. As though there are no other structures around you. And those other structures, human beings don't reside in them. Why? If earthquake come and our money get buried, is it not better than human beings die?
Are you serious?
Why am I not serious? The money you are just printing will print more. Human life.
The same person saying,
I am saying that if it's not there, it will print. You didn't hear me. You didn't hear what I said. If the money oil is gone through earthquake, we'll print new one to replace the one that is gone. That's the point I'm making. But I want to save human life. Taliban, no more serious, no, Johnny. How on earth a country in which today? See, I was driving from Cape Coast yesterday. You know they have created some onion market. You know, after Bunubura going that place where there's
yes.
A few months ago, anytime you're passing there, you see huge heaps of what? Onions. When I was coming, the place was empty.
Why?
So out of curiosity, I stopped and I said, but all the onion we consume here comes from Niger.
Ah, okay.
And the rest. And because they are fighting, it's not coming.
So it means it will be expensive.
The few that is there is very expensive. Go and check a bucket of tomatoes today in the market. And I said on set today that if you have $250 million to spend on building a headquarters that you don't have any use for today, and you can invest that money in the agriculture sector, they tell me the Bank of Ghana that's not their duty. They can advance money to any state institution to do whatever they want to do. And so Addison has failed completely. Now, see, I don't know where Maya came from all these things he's talking about this morning. He's a student of fairness. As for him, he doesn't put to leverage on the people's emotions and blah, blah. We're in this country. What's the name of that former youth organizer? I mean, Mustafa
Hamid.
Sat on national television, crying, crocodiles, Ghana is suffering. Allah will do. Nana Akufo-Addo, get his cars come there. But I've worked at the Bank of Ghana before. There is money there. You have forgotten all those things. All the things you said and did. See, if there's any government that the people of Ghana have been very charitable to, it's Nanado's government.
Do you think that the governor will budge at your picketing on the 5th of September? But you guys have picketed over many other things that was not heeded to.
Because they think that's one of those things. This picketing that is going to go on, it's not going to be a joke. It's not going to be a joke. And I'm sure Addison's wife will wake up in the morning and call him and say, Mikru, I want you to leave for me and my children. Resign, come and stay in the house. We have so much money, we can live on it and die with it. You don't need to continue to be a governor.
They told you that they have too much money.
But you think that the $250 million that they have given the contractor, definitely some people will not get their share from it.
But making a serious allegation.
But Ghana, you know, when people give contract, they get some percentages. People get some percentages from it, though. You think that it's chop.
Is that what you would have done?
It's chop, but you know it.
I don't know.
All the projects that they are doing, I don't know the chop that they are doing.
I don't know. That's what
you don't know.
That's what I'm asking you.
You don't know today?
No, I don't.
The chop that is going on.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
The monies and the people's better than you have not heard it. I have not seen it. So on a more serious note, Johnny, I think that what is happening in our country. You see, one of the reasons why you want a governor of Bank of Ghana at this point to exit, apart from the incompetence and all the things they are not doing well, that you can choose to say that we don't care, let him stay there and destroy the country. It will give the investor community some confidence. It will give everybody some hope that, with a new managers coming on board, things will be done differently. There will be some stability. Because really where we are now, not long ago, Bank of Ghana, they were even chasing these Goro guy. People were...
Yes, Abochi.
The Abochis were doing dollars.
79 of them were arrested.
They were arrested. Not knowing that appointees were keeping their monies under their belt.
There's only one appointee that
because he has been found out.
Right.
If I were President Akufo-Addo, me, with this revelation that came, I know what I would have don?
No.
I would have asked my attorney general to go to court and go and get a court, what they call it?
Warrant.
All appointees. Let's move in there. The media follow, the police follow, the Yoko follow. Let's go and check everybody's room. I am telling you. Let's go and check.
For me.
When the Ladapas case came, haven't you heard about a staffer at the presidency?
Well, $114,000.
So, do you know how many more people are keeping money in their under their beds? I had a story that somebody what's the name? That's the keep water inside. Polytank. That one to head that was some money and Polytank. Oh, you didn't hear that one? You didn't hear? Johnny, tell me if you didn't hear. If I'm lying, you tell me.
It is unconfirmed.
It's unconfirmed, but you heard it.
Yes.
So I'm saying that if you're a president that is worth your salt. A president who is committed to fighting corruption.
Okay.
One of the things you should be doing by now is to go and sit a court warrant, go to every single appointee's house.
That means you don't trust your appointees. If
this president tries to appoint, then it's just one of them.
I see. Chief, step in for me. The NDC wants to pick it. Kofi Ameyao says it is emotive and it should not be countenanced. Where do you stand?
Well, as a member of Arise Ghana, we have issued a statement.
Right, I've seen that.
And we have called on all citizens of goodwill to join so that we'll be able to salvage the little that is left of the Bank of Ghana. You know, as part of the functions of any central bank, one of them is to be the lender of last resort.
That's correct.
What that means is that the Bank of Ghana must be solvent, or the central bank must be solvent, and must always be in a position to support any other bank that is distressed and is suffering liquidity issues. Today that the Bank of Ghana itself is in liquidity crisis, how will the bank perform that function of a lender of last resort?
The Bank of Ghana says that whatever has happened will not prevent them from doing what is constitutional.
So what it means is that to be able to do that, they are going to print more currency. That's what they mean. To be able to perform that function, it means that they are going to print more currency. And when you print more currency into the system, and it is not backed by productivity, it will send inflation to a different realm. It's as easy. This is 101 economics.
Basic economics.
You don't need any magician to tell you. And that is why when the central bank governor made the pronunciation that, look, they are not suffering any solvency issues, I just said, no, this man's level of understanding economics is in a different category.
But that's the governor of the Bank of Ghana.
Yes, you could be a banker and not an economist. Because to understand economics, this is basic economics. So if you are saying that you will not suffer insolvency, what you are telling is that because you have the power to print more money, you are going to print more money. What will be the effect? Catastrophic. It's as simple as that. Here we are talking technical. So basically, if you have run a ditch and you do not take necessary steps, you will see that you rather continue to go down and sink deeper. And I've likened this to a situation where you have a rotten tuber of yam.
Of yam, right.
And part of it is rotten. Johnny, the best you can do is to cut off that part.
Right.
But to say that you want to leave it for a rainy day, you will wake up to realize that the entire tuber is consumed.
So in this point, you want the Bank of Ghana governor and the deputies.
The deputies and the board should
to
go because they are the rotten element within the Bank of Ghana.
Do we have the men to replace them?
Well, I can agree with you to some extent. If Fred Kofi Osei Ameyao cannot work there, Osei is not.
Frederick Kofi Ameyao. Okay. Yes.
Sorry.
Doesn't like the Osei.
No, it's not.
Why? Some Osei has destroyed something for you before.
No.
Nana say, Osei baby.
National lotteries.
You understand? So
it's okay. It's okay. Let's go.
So from the point of view,
right,
that you'll be running into deep crisis, simply have to remove those who have led us into this.
Do we have the men to replace them?
I think that we should have the men. Particularly so when the vice president spoke about what a solid team. Despite that solid team has led us into this impoverishment that we find ourselves.
Dr. Akoto says dead, is gone. It was part of the team.
Yeah, Alan Chermantin is around, but he wants to be president. Dr.
Akoto Free.
Ba Achamfo is around. He doesn't want to be.
Bafojan. Yes. From IP for Wenchi.
Yeah, he's still around. He's one of the solid men, right? Then who else?
The former Greek minister.
But Kofi Konado-Apraku, but he also wants to be president.
Right.
Even Osafo Mafo is around and lurking, advising the president on wrong prescriptions. So it's obvious that we are certainly in crisis. Look, this is happening at a time when the United States offered somebody to be an advisor at our Ministry of Finance. When the IMF have actually positioned somebody to be working at the Bank of Ghana to be able to contain the level of misguided expenditure. Are you aware that travel expenses alone amounted in excess of 32 million Ghana cedis?
That's right.
Are you aware that vehicle maintenance alone amounted to 131 million Ghana cedis?
So that includes new vehicles and
maintenance cannot mean new vehicles.
That's what the Bank of Ghana has explained.
I'm saying that maintenance cannot include new vehicles. Why? We all did accounting. And we know when you are doing asset portfolio. In fact, maintenance and repairs it's a recurrent expenditure. It's not a fixed asset.
Because it happens every 3 months or so.
Maintenance and repairs comes under recurrent expenditure. It's not a fixed asset.
So the Bank of Ghana got it wrong?
No, simply. That's why I'm saying that they don't even understand. Because if you have to tell us that maintenance is a fixed asset, then we are in deep trouble. Because it means that you are not able to distinguish between what is recurrent expenditure and what is fixed asset. And so you are not competent to be at the Bank of Ghana.
Should the Bank of Ghana stop building this new facility headquarters? They have given good reason that where they are, there are fault lines for earthquake and all of that, and so they have had to move. But everybody seems not to be happy about it.
Johnny.
Domahini has spoken, you have spoken, Fred and his team have spoken. In fact, some elements within government have also spoken, but they spoke privately. Should they pause?
Johnny.
Yes, sir.
Take a listen. That within the same vicinity is the Ghana School of Law.
That's right.
Is the Makola Market.
That's right.
Is the Baden Powell Hall. There's even a school within the same place.
Yes.
There is the Absa Bank.
That's the Accra Bishop Girls School.
Very good.
Podcast there.
Yes.
There's GCB headquarters there as well.
There is the Standard Chartered Bank headquarters there.
Yes.
There is also Universal Merchant Bank there.
Yes.
There is also the Superior Court,
Right.
where the Chief Justice.
Right.
And I would think that in the handling of positions in this country, the Chief Justice will be number 3 or number 4.
Number 4.
Well, if you listen to Babin's definition, the Chief Justice will be number 3 because he said the President and the Vice President is one office. So the Speaker, is number 2. And the Judiciary will come number 3. You understand? All of them are located. The Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, refurbished recently.
Ioko as well.
Ioko, everything is there. It is only the Bank of Ghana that is situated within an earth-prone area. In fact, the entire Accra is the epicenter of earthquake in Ghana. So if it is by that logic, then one will be thinking that we should locate or go and construct this thing in Sankana or in Kintampo, far remote from the epicenter of earthquake and earth tremors. The other argument, which I think is nonsensical, is that they are doing this so that in case we are going to do the West African monetary currency, ECO, then they can also lobby for the headquarters. And that they will have infrastructure or a bank that will be able to house it. And that is why they are comparing that they have similar buildings in Abuja and they have the same thing in Dakar.
Kenya and all of that.
And so once we are going to get this, then why not? We should anticipate that we can host the headquarters. Why not holding the headquarters of the African currency? Why? So such trivia would become and constitute the basis for which the central bank will lead us into this ridiculous lane. But remember that my brother, Ernesto Yeboah, took the lead to Parliament to go and protest the construction of a new chamber.
Right, drop that chamber.
And the chamber was dropped. Why? Because we said that in the midst of the crisis that we were facing, there could not have been a justification for the construction of a parliament, a new parliament chamber, for the comfort of a few Ghanaians.
So are you going to lead the charge for drop the BOG?
And certainly there is no doubt that that thing must be dropped, particularly at this time that we have run into such a terrible crisis. Even in our own country, where I keep saying that we are, look, when I go and fetch my water and a calabash and I sit by my stone and I say a prayer, you come and tell me that I'm worshiping a stone. But President Akufo-Addo took money and went to Israel to go and bring a stone.
For us to worship.
He brought a stone to come and put it under an excavation so that they can put concrete on it. We will be worshipping the stone.
I hear you. Kofi, you have a quick rebuttal. We're wrapping up.
Yes.
Let's wrap up.
First of all, the explanation given by the Bank of Ghana, for me, is not a justification as to why they want to build the head office.
Okay.
Questions have been asked, so they need to provide
They said they didn't start building this year. In fact, they started building
and I've heard
a long time ago that if they had started this year, they wouldn't have begun at all. So they didn't start.
I don't know the hue and crab. Oh, look.
Have we not stopped it?
Wait. You didn't listen to him. Wait. He made a fantastic point. You didn't listen to him. And let me repeat what he said. But the issue of this, okay, you want to build because Accra or the area is earthquake.
Yes, that's what they said.
And he mentioned that, okay, then why are you still building Accra and all that? But the new one they are going to build is earthquake resistant. That's what I'm told. And all that. See, I didn't want to go so much into this.
I want to understand if it's earthquake resistant and it's on a fault line. Does it?
Wait. I didn't want to go into this argument, especially when I was on TV. But
you are ignoring my question.
I'll answer you. I know. I've noted it. No, don't worry.
All right.
And then you ask him seriously. Look, the institution we are talking about there, it's not, with the greatest of respect, like Ministry of Energy or Ministry of Agric or Ministry of Information. They are talking about Bank of Ghana.
These are very central ministries you are mentioning.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying with the greatest of respect.
Napo, Kojo, Ponkroma, they do not be happy
I'm saying
with
there is not like us in the building, not the individuals.
Right.
The buildings is what I'm referring to. I'm talking about the ministry, not the ministers. I'm talking about the Bank of Ghana. Okay, that's a regulator of our monetary policy. And our monetary policies are as sensitive as our health, as our roads. Because he mentioned, okay, if the money bends, we can print another. And you're like, really? This is a place that needs to be protected, because when it's the place is messed up, the whole economy is down.
But what is wrong with the present current place they are?
It's still there. Nothing is spoiled.
Wait.
I'm waiting.
Look, once again, they've provided the explanation as to why. And the idea to build a new head office didn't emanate now, didn't start now.
Chamamona says they want to host the head office of the...
is it not important? Are we not hosting after? It's not a good thing. When the NDC started and they were building, did anybody complain? Did we not even support it? Today we have it. Isn't it beautiful to see it there? No, isn't it beautiful to see the after building the trade center, something over there? Was it not the NDC that started it? Because we wanted to host the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Huh? So I don't know. That's why I said, Johnny, look, wait. That's why I said that regardless of when it started, I'm saying moving forward, we should be able to move away, divorce ourselves from this kind of politics.
Do you have the men to replace the governor and his team if they bow to the dictates of the NDC and all the pressure groups and they leave? Do you have the men to replace them?
The bank, the governor of the bank, Bank of Ghana, did not do anything in contravention of the law. He didn't break any law.
That's all what I'm asking. I'm saying if the governor decides to bow to the pressure.
Bow to the pressure and resign.
Yes. Do you have the men to replace him?
If, of course, there are abandoned men in the system to replace him. But that's not the case. That's not the point. But we cannot build a nation like that. No, Johnny, the point is that we can't build a nation based on these flimsy reasons as to why somebody in that critical institution must resign. We can't do this.
The reasons are flimsy.
Your reasons are flimsy. Of course they are flimsy.
Money you cannot account for is flimsy.
But have you forgotten the reasons that were given? After that reasons, then we come back to the issues.
Cannot account for his
Did he draw that money out of his pocket? Can I make my point? Are you the host?
I'm surprised that
you are talking as though like he decided to embark on a project on his own, whimsically, to do something, and at the end of the day, he ran at a loss. He did something on behalf of the government. And the people of Ghana will have a time and an opportunity to make a decision as to whether that decision that was made by the government. So did he do out of his own will?
So if I hear you say no wrong was done. If I hear you, right?
No, unless or until you point me to the wrong that was done.
No, I'm asking you, but you are making your point.
Of course.
I want to understand you.
No. What did you do?
Okay.
What did you do?
The law says that you cannot bring more than 5% of the previous.
You can't let this one go. Let me respond to you.
Yes.
Let me respond.
Quickly. 30 seconds. We have to go.
You see, the NDC has taken a position. And they have taken that position because they know clearly that's the only path to power. They can engage the people with policies, alternate policies and messages. So they will come out with these things. Because can I make my point? Because they can come out with sound policies that Ghanaians can buy into it and vote for them. They'll be dwelling on these sentiments and sensations and emotions out of nothing. You keep saying that he printed money. The man said, I haven't printed anything. You haven't shown any proof whatsoever.
Okay.
He has told you he hasn't printed any money.
I hear you.
We haven't shown any proof.
Fred.
What's your proof?
Fred, quickly.
You haven't shown any proof.
Fred, do you have proof that the man printed money?
Yeah,
You have his day in court. Don't worry.
Oh, you take him to court.
The man who prosecute him and jail him.
Can you imagine?
You jail
Addison.
Why?
You think that we just want him to get out and that's the end of it? He knows. Don't
Fred, Fred, I'm like, Fred. Yes, I know.
See, when I say my brother, something is wrong somewhere.
Say you want to jail Addison.
Yes, he has violated the Bank of Ghana
What
Act.
to prosecute or jail?
We will prosecute him and eventually will go to jail because he has violated the Act. That says that.
Kofi, allow him. Kofi, allow him. We don't have time. Kofi, we don't have a lot of time. Sorry.
I'm sure I'm the one who sit on that case.
You will sit on that case.
Sit on that case.
Are you reading law? Are you practicing?
He's asking me if I'm
Go ahead.
Your mama is his president. Can you imagine? Today,
okay, Fred, quickly wrap up.
I don't know why the man is disturbing me.
Fred, we have to go.
See,
yes,
Johnny, this Bank of Ghana issue that we are trying to trivialize and make it look as though it's no issue. It's a very, very serious issue. As I said earlier, this is the Bank of Ghana. This is the bank that's supposed to lend money to all other commercial banks. This is the bank that's supposed to regulate the activities of all other commercial banks. This is the bank that, per their act and per the law that governs it, was able to close down several other financial institutions in this country, render people unemployed. This bank. Now, so on what moral grounds will you stand on tomorrow? To say you are going to another bank that is violating the law and say that you are going to close them down. You said some banks were not performing well. And when all the studies were done, they couldn't meet the requirement. No, not even the requirement one. The total indebtedness of those banks was about 9 billion.
Right.
You end up spending almost 25 billion to resolve a 9 billion problem. What thinking went into that? What thinking went into that? The Act says you cannot print money in excess of 5% of the previous year's budget to the central government. We have provided evidence that you have printed as much as 80 billion.
You have provided evidence.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Make your point.
You see,
make your point.
I said today you can sit in 3FM studio and scream and shout. When the day of reckoning comes, when Addison will have his day, because Nanado will not prosecute his own.
Have you shown the evidence?
Because Nanado will protect his own, he will clear his own.
Show him
Because
proof.
now
The president always says, bring
all
me proof.
the proof you have given him,
What proof?
all the proof you have given him, for the first time in Ghana's history, you have your own members of parliament, over 100 of them, sign a petition, appeal to the president, remove your cousin, the finance minister. Your own members of parliament.
I hear you.
Remove your cousin, the finance minister. He's not managing our economy well. Mr. President, you don't listen. He gave assurance that after the IMF deal, they will remove the man.
He said,
the
he said after the IMF deal, we'll see what we can do about it.
What was the call? The call is that remove the man. So if you say we see what we can do about it, you are saying inference that in inference, yes, I know he will not go.
Okay.
And I'm saying that day will come.
Wrap up for me.
2025 will come. And it will come very soon.
I see.
It will come very soon when Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will not be occupying the seat of president at the Flat House again. It will come very soon when Alhaji Bawumia.
Okay, thank you. Let me bring in Chief Mona.
You can say whatever you want to say. You protect him. Let him also be listening to you. Let him be listening to you when that day comes and he goes to the court alone. I'm sure by then you'll be in America and be enjoying.
Chief, step in for me. Your closing thoughts. Enough has been said. What do you leave us with?
Well, I think that it is important that those who are handed the privileged status of working in public institutions must know that they are only doing that at the behest of not just the appointing authority, but on behalf of all of us. And therefore, their conduct must be such that it ignites integrity and a certain level of honesty. At the end of the day, the shame that will face and force Addison out of office will be so huge that if he had taken a cue now, it will save him further embarrassment. Johnny.
Yes, sir.
We're going to embark on this protest. And it's not going to be a walk in the park, as I've insisted. It is going to be at the Bank of Ghana. And the Bank of Ghana is strategically located for everything that we need to do. It will not be Akufo-Addo that will tell the governor to resign. He will resign.
The governor himself will resign.
He will resign. Because the pressure that will come up will be such that he cannot even enter his office, let alone perform any duties.
Hey, that will be obstruction of
whatever you do, because if he has not obstructed the performance of the Bank of Ghana, his fiscal obstruction is not a problem. Or when he's in the Bank of Ghana, he will not be able to come out and do his functions outside. He will resign.
Has the police given you, the thumbs up or the nod?
Well, I have said time without number, just that my colleagues don't listen to me. This nation's independence was not achieved on the basis of what the police wanted and what the police did not want. It took citizens to defy sometimes the police in order to get things done. Nobody conforms to bring about change. Nobody conforms to bring about change. And so when we are looking for the change, we must embark on certain revolutionary actions. And I can assure you that, except that sometimes I feel that some of us are too weak, you want to conform with every rule. And when you want to conform, what it means is that you are simply acquiescing to the dictates of the president and the institutions that they hold. The president appointed Inspector General of Police. The president will appoint the National Security Minister and every other person, Defense Minister. So if you constantly want to respect and obey them, we'll end up with no change in our hand.
Thank you. Bernard Mona, former chairman of the PNC, Kofi Ameyao, Frederick Kofi Ameyao, is with the UN office on behalf of the Republic of Ghana in New York. And then Fred Agbenyo is
Fred Agbenyo is the NDC's parliamentary candidate for Santo Kofi Akpafu Lipe and Lolobi. Thank you, gentlemen, indeed, for your time. I'm most grateful. But gentlemen, quickly, have any of you seen a job vacancy announcement by the Bank of Ghana before? Yeah, I'm looking for a houseboy job.
Kofi, have you seen it?
No.
Bank of Ghana?
No.
But people work there, they retire,
yes.
They are replaced. But
yes.
A family business. Go and check.
It's family business.
Yes.
It is family
But
business.
you talk as if you have never been in Ghana. Is that what you are?
We have to go into the archive to see because there has
Bank
never
of
been
Ghana,
an
I have not seen some
If you
before.
have
before.
colleagues there,